What's up? Yeah, that's right. It is your friendly neighborhood Red Dog with the new graphic. Now, what y'all think about that? So, what are we talking about today? Well, we're all going to do the intro announcements. We have been gone for a couple weeks, so we want to get up and kind of catch up and talk about things like WrestleMania, right? Like, what did we enjoy about it? What we did not enjoy about it? We also want to talk about this interview that Bailey did last week, and as you can see, my camera turned off because it doesn't want to stay on. But more importantly, we're going to talk about Karrion Kross as well. We're going to do Push and Barry. We're going to have how we're feeling about John Cena and Randy Orton. We're also going to be talking about Damien's Dumbass of the Week when he pops on. And then also we're going to be doing the WWE releases because that was the thing that happened. And we're going to talk about some of the stuff that happens there. And all that and more, when we're tuning into Red Dog and Friends. Hit that music because it's kind of dark in here.
The following program is a collection of idiots talking about happenings in the sports entertainment world. It is meant to be comedically informative. The opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their bosses, platform, or whatever network they are on. There may be some out-of-pocket things said on this show because this is how we talk to each other. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further. Your homies. The 3 Count Podcast. P.S. Please do not sue us.
Hit him with a 3 count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down, no way out.
It's not even this show today. That's right. Hi, it's your friendly neighborhood Red Dog, and this is Red Dog and Friends.
I am the champion, Red Dog, hear my call.
The following program is a collection of idiots talking about happenings in the sports entertainment world. It is meant to be comedically informative. The opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their bosses, platform, or whatever.
Can't hear you at all. Anything you're saying is mute.
What about now?
Perfect. Go for it.
Yeah, it is the Air Force Veteran Intel Specialist, the one you call on when you need to get the job done, and your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. And as you can see, we have the new graphic up because this is Red Dog and Friends, and we are excited to have you. But as you can see, we don't have all of our friends because Chaz is currently getting on his, Master Shifu, Master Uguay, whatever you want to call it. He's got a karate tournament going on. I know he's gonna get mad at me for doing that, but that's not my problem. That's gonna be his problem to deal with. And then Damien may be running in late, like always. But more importantly, we have the only Graves that matters right next to me. There he is. Twitch, what up?
How you doing, boss man?
What's going on? What's going on, man? Listen, I'm excited because we've been gone for 2 weeks since we had some issues going on. So I was like,
Bro.
let's try it. Let's try this. Let's try this. Hey, Keith out here saying this is the best Cliff's ever sounded. Hey, first of all, that's not entirely false. Yo, so let's get into it. Some intro, some announcements. You guys go check us out on foryourwear.com. Go check us out on prowrestlingtees.com. Right, buy our merch there. We will be very much appreciated of that. We have a lot of big things that are coming down the pipeline, so we want you guys to kind of just be in the loop. But pick up our merch, go support us. Check us out on 3 Count Podcast on all your favorite social media platforms, except for X, which is the only one that is 3 Count Pod _. Go check us out on our Twitter page, our TikTok page, go all that stuff. Tweet, like, comment, talk to us. If you guys are checking us out on YouTube, or even if you guys are checking us out on Spotify, or that one app with the dumb jingle that goes iHeartRadio, leave a comment. We want to hear from you guys because we are excited to know about what you guys are thinking, especially with the wrestling world right now. But what Twitch and I are really going to get to, by the way, I forgot to mention this before we get into the big one. You guys didn't get an episode of Now Entering. So for you guys who are looking for it on Saturday, trying to figure out where's the next episode, it ain't there. But it will be. We'll be back to posting up regular episodes. You guys did get an episode of Solomon Stone from Now Entering 201, so that was pretty cool to be able to chat with him. It's been 4 years since we had him on the program, so he's one of our first guests. Yeah, so it was kind of cool to be able to pull him back, talk to him, especially about a bunch of changes. We talking about parenting because he has a when I first talked to him, he just had a baby, and so now, 4 years later, he's talking about the difference in a parenting life and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool to be able to chat with him and just catch up to speed. But it's been 2 weeks, Twitch. And we gotta talk about it, man, because we had WrestleMania, we had all sorts of weeks. We're gonna get into every one of everybody's favorite segments. Let me pull up the layers here and find it. Bam, temp check. So we've been gone for 2 weeks, but we're gonna catch you guys up. So we're gonna give our hottest, our coldest, and our match of the week. So Twitch, let's start us off. Let's go last 2 weeks ago with WrestleMania. Coming out, who was your hottest wrestler, your coldest wrestler, and then your match of the week?
My hottest wrestler, Jacob Fatu.
Hmm.
No reasoning there other than it's Jacob Fatu. Match of the week, honestly, give me Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley.
It was a great match.
That was a fire fucking match.
It was a fire match.
Coldest. I think from that week, what I can remember, everybody was on top of their game. It's really hard to find a coldest.
Right.
What you got?
I'm gonna say hottest wrestler of the week, man. It's got to be John Cena. Like
Okay.
it's hard. It's hard not to. He wins the title. Then he comes out of that week at Raw, talking smack. And then he goes to SmackDown, talking more smack, and then here comes Randy Orton out of nowhere. Gives him an RKO, sells it beautifully. But coming off that big win though, man, from Cody Rhodes, stopping a title run, becoming 17-time world champion. It says a lot about him just right there. And then still, man, the crowd was like cheering him. They were cheering him at Mania, which was like wild. And then he went to Raw, and they were still cheering him. Got a couple boos, and got his boos back when he went to SmackDown. So I give it to John. My coldest rest of the week, man. I'm gonna be fair. And we'll talk about this later in the show. And unfortunately, like 2 weeks ago, it would be Dakota Kai. Um, and that's my stuff goes out. Dakota getting cut was unfortunate. We'll talk about that later in the show, but she just
I think your camera froze.
it did. Hold on, all right, you guys stand by. Technical difficulties.
So Dakota Kai, like he was talking about, part of the releases that we'll get into later in this lovely topic. With that, I'm going to go into my hottest and coldest of this week. Never mind, there he is. Can't hear you. Yep.
What about now?
Yep, you're good.
All right. So anyway, match of the week though, I'll definitely I have to agree with you, man. Like Io, Rhea, and Bianca just tore the house down. But it's hard to pick like one match out of the whole bunch. What we were talking about on the show beforehand was that one of the biggest fears was who's gonna lose. If somebody loses, damn, my camera's gonna freeze again. Who's losing out if Mania, right? And what we ended up finding out was, fortunately, nobody lost out at Mania when it came to that match.
No, everybody came out pretty strong on the
Yeah.
back end of it. Yeah, I agree. We talked about that a few times on here about
And we were all kind of worried. We were all really kind of worried about that matchup. I'm gonna fix the camera here in a second. Go ahead and just like chat it up with them.
yeah. Speaking on that topic, I'm glad to see Io Sky didn't come out of that as a transitional champion. Sucks to hear about the WWE cuts. I like Shannon and Braun. Yeah, we're going to talk about the WWE cuts later in the show. But yeah, I agree. Braun Strowman, I liked him. Hey, and we can hear you.
Yeah, and you can hear me too. Bet. All right. Well, let's hop this over. Let's go to last week. Who we got? Hottest wrestler, coldest wrestler, and then who we thinking about match of the week?
Match of the week: Zelina Vega, Chelsea Green
That's a good one.
for the U.S. title.
Yeah. I
Uh,
like it.
Hottest? That's hard. Give me Rusev.
Yeah.
Give me the
Yeah.
return of Rusev.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I like it. I who you got as the coldest?
My coldest is, and this is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. Becky Lynch.
Interesting.
You return at Mania to get a title shot. Okay, cool. You show up on Raw after Mania, lose your titles, just to get thrusted into another title shot. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Make
agree.
it make sense, Charlotte Flair 2.0.
Yeah. I hear about it. I hear. We got a few comments in. I wanna pop in real quick. So Jacob is a stud. I'll definitely
Facts.
put it on. Chaz has put a curse on you. Definitely he did. He definitely has. Uh Sucks to hear about all the cuts for WWE. I like Shayna and I like Braun. We'll talk about that later in the show, so we definitely hang out with us and talk with us when we get there. Yeah, EO deserves more respect for a while. She really has. She really
What
has.
what worried me about Io going into that match was I've said it on this show, was I expected fully for Io to be a transitional champion.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
did.
really glad she came out on the other end, not a transitional
Yeah.
champion.
I'm gonna go. So for last week because we did the WrestleMania show,
Yeah.
obviously for last week, I would say I like Aleister Black coming back. I'm a
Ooh,
massive fan. It
yeah.
was a great, it's a great
Yeah.
look. Coldest wrestler of the week. I'm gonna go with my coldest wrestler, Jada Parker. Like she's not doing
Oh,
nothing. She's not doing nothing, right?
okay.
Like I know she's kind of like around the title hunt, but she's not really
Yeah.
doing nothing. So I'm kind of like, I love me some Jada Parker, but I'm just kind of like, you're not doing anything, and I'm not gonna take it away either, right? If I go on the other side, um, and I know this is gonna become kind of it's hard for me to say this one. Mark Briscoe is also on that coldest wrestler of the week because every time I turn around, even though he's always constant on the TV, he's always taking an L, and I'm like, bro, like I love you.
I love the Briscoes, and it hurts me so much
Yeah,
to see what Mark is going through right
yeah.
now.
And I know they want to like he's the guy that they're gonna kind of use and try to build and push around, and I'm just like, come on, man, like I want him to start getting big wins. And I know, like, he was the ROH title, world title winner, and I do understand all that, but I'm just kind of like, man, I want more for Mark.
They're doing
Um,
the Briscoe name dirty.
yeah. My match of the week for last week though is gonna be that triple threat tag match. The TLC.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
How was that not on Mania?
Fire. Yeah.
How was that not on fucking Mania?
And I'm glad that I get it. Like they were like, hey, we're gonna push this back a week. We want to give the crowd something to kind of cheer for and watch. But yeah, they laid that all on the line. I was super happy
Boy,
seeing the Street Profits win. I was like, bro, that was so good.
they proved that that match should have been a WrestleMania match. But
Mm-hmm.
I understand it. I understand that we are strapped for time. Not everybody gets a match on Mania. We
Yeah.
know.
So let's go this week, man. We got hot. We got temp check. What we got?
My hottest of this week, Aleister Black.
Yeah.
That match with the Miz was good,
Yeah.
but I'm wanting what happened after the match. Give me Carmelo Hayes and Aleister Black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coldest of the week. Hold on, I gotta pull my paper up. Coldest of the week. Surprisingly, I don't have one.
Mm,
Match of the week. Give me Faxium and Pretty Deadly.
that was a great match. That
That
was a
was
great match.
a great fucking match.
Even though my camera just froze again. Hold on, and I'll get my picks. This camera is like acting up. Really, Chaz did curse me, man. He'd hit me with the Downhauser.
He gave him that Mr. Miyagi curse because this man is having more technical difficulties than I was. That's not entirely true. We were having some serious technical difficulties, but that is what happens. Please bear with us here for a moment as we wait for the return of Red Dog here on Red Dog's Return. But if you haven't already, cheap plug time. Make sure you head over to foryourwearingprowrestlingtees.com and check out all of the 3 Count podcasts, along with the Red Dog merchandise and your Pure Ignorance merchandise. Make sure you pop in on Saturday, as I believe we are doing a live reaction to Backlash. Don't quote me on that. We'll ask Red Dog right now because I was doing a cheap plug. Are we doing a Backlash watch along?
I do believe
Okay. Your audio's
so.
gone. There it is.
It's back or it's gone.
It's back.
Okay. So yeah, we never really committed to the idea. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do a watch. We'll do a watch along for Backlash. So you guys can get lucky, hang out with us, and watch it. All right. Let me give you my hot, cold, and match of the week. Right. Um, my match of the week is going to be uh that 8-man tag match from Dynamite.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fun. It was enjoyable. I know Vaxium Pre Deadly was really good. Obviously,
That
um, Ray Phoenix was also another fire match, like turning in great performances with Santos Escobar. But I don't know. I kind of wanted a comedy stick. I think I got tired of just like watching like all the serious wrestling going on, and just
I
to see
get it.
something kind of fun, just 8-man tag. Again, Mark Briscoe taking the L, not my choice, but it is what it is.
That was my runner up. The only reason it didn't get match of the week was I'm not a big fan of like 8-man tags, let
Yeah,
alone 6-man tag matches.
right.
Like, give me the straight up tag match.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that one. Yeah. So my hottest wrestler of the week is going to be, I'm trying to think of, Randy Orton.
Okay.
Yeah, man, putting out fire promos. I liked it. I liked everything that was going on. I guess if I put a second place in there too, give me whatever the new name is for Seth Rollins group, because him and Braun and Paul, like, bruh, it's good to see. It's good to see.
I have comments about that group.
I mean,
Um,
Evolution 2.0.
yep. That, and I'm really waiting for Becky to join it.
Right.
Like, I really am.
I mean, and we'll talk about that situation too here in our debate topic. And then my coldest rest of the week. Uh, Man, listen, I'm gonna pick another person. AEW's Haley Cameron, like taking back to back L's, back to back weeks, like Harley Cameron.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was
she
going to
just
say, wait, who?
yeah, Harley. I love Harley's promos. She's really good. She's really funny. I love watching it. I just don't, after losing to Mercedes, all of a sudden Harley is taking L after L after L after L, and it's like, come on, man. Like I get it. You're stacking her up against some pretty big people. It is Megan Bain. I do love me some Megan Bain, but it's like, come on, man. Like, surely we can find like a better place for her on the card where she's like rebuilding and getting more wins, right? I'm not here for it. But yo, that is what we got. So if you guys want to, you guys can slip us your hottest, coldest wrestlers of the week. We would love to be able to talk to you guys some more about it. And we're gonna hop into our first debate topic. So let's not kid around. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit this button. All right. Underutilized players. So how are we feeling about Bailey and Karrion Kross? And this is where this all stems from. WrestleMania week, we saw CVV, Chris Van Vliet, for those who don't know what that means, came out with an interview with Bailey where Bailey had a snippet come out and it went viral where it was about, she was like, well, if you guys don't like what's going on now, you're really going to hate what's happening here in the future. Well, by the time this comes out. And then, Chris asked, what do you mean by that? She didn't follow up. She played coy. We found out what that was, right? So SmackDown, we saw on WrestleMania that Bailey got taken out. We didn't know who it was. Come to find out, Becky makes her return at WrestleMania. They win the tag titles. The next night they lose the tag titles, and then Lyra gets turned on by Becky, and then Becky drops a promo this week saying, "Don't worry, guys. You don't have to worry about who attacked Bailey from behind. It was me." So Bailey gets taken out for no reason. For that reason, I'm gonna keep saying there's no reason. Karrion Kross, just he made was at WrestleMania, right, in Vegas, but he did like a little talking spot with AJ Styles. Cuts this incredible promo on the podcast. I forget which podcast it was on.
Afterwards,
That
yeah.
afterward, yeah, and it was just amazing to see the work of Killer Cross come back, and not carrying. Like we got to see Killer Cross come back. Just a great promo. And then he's been doing some firework. But then again, to fast forward, he's on main event, and then he loses to Dragon Lee in less than 8 minutes. Um, Not my ideal for using someone like Karrion Cross. I don't know if it's a connection thing that's not going on with him, or even with Bailey as well. You know, but even Bailey was like, "Yo, like, what more do I have to do to get people to invest in me, right?" And that's where it is, right? Underutilized players. And if you guys want to, throw us your people that you think that are being underutilized in WWE, or even in AEW, or just wrestling. Period. Like that will also work. Um, but yeah, how we feeling about that, man?
As far as Karrion Cross goes, only because this is on top of my mind, he released something on his Killer Cross YouTube page earlier today. It was like the tragic tale of Karrion Cross at WrestleMania. Uh, I haven't finished watching it yet, but I need to. Man, you want to talk about an underutilized talent? Somebody who can talk, somebody who has developed their character to almost the point of perfection. Like, I'm convinced this man has dead bodies in his freezer in the basement. And then you just get shit on
Yeah,
week after week after week. It's like you talked about with Mark Briscoe. Like, at some point or another, either A, let this man go, or B, start pushing and utilizing this man because you have one hell of a talent on your hands.
mm,
As far as Bailey, I don't think that I could come up with a better workhorse that WWE has. This girl does NXT. She does live events. She does Raw. She does SmackDown. All the traveling in between. All her training in between. Promoting your product constantly. And what does she get? Shit on for Charlotte Flair 2.0, aka Becky Lynch. At
yeah,
some point or another, we have to start realizing that we have other people on the roster that aren't Charlotte and Becky. I understand that they draw you money. I understand that there are little kids out there that want Becky or want Charlotte, or grown men like Damien who want Becky or Charlotte. But I just I at some point or another you need to realize there's more talent on your roster than just those two. And they're not even like the pinnacle of your talent. There are more people on there that are talented than them. And we're getting the same thing week in, week out. It's either this person over your workhorse or your group of workhorses. And then going back to the Chris Van Vliet interview with Bailey. Am I the only one who thought that she's just mentally drained?
yeah,
Like the way she was answering some of them questions, like, damn, this isn't the Bailey I'm used to seeing all the time. That's, got this positive attitude and she's peppy and ready to go. She seems so down in the dumps. Like, this poor girl.
yeah. Here's my problem with it, right? Becky made that comment on the podcast about wait till fans see what's gonna happen next, and then she was like, oh, she knew realized she said too much, and then like we found out what was going on. My problem is like, yo, you had Bailey, you had this person who 2-3 years ago we were talking about how she was the girl, right? Like the woman on the roster that you needed for everything, and everybody behind the scenes had talked about how great she is, how giving she is, how willing that she is to be like a great ambassador for the company. And this is the only place that she's ever wanted to work, right? And not me just talking about Bailey, talking about Pam, right? Pam is like this incredible person behind the scenes, and everybody knows her, right? And they talk to her and they love having discussions with her, and she works her ass off all the time. So fast forward back over to Bailey. Bailey is this person who it's just Pam turned up. So I see Bailey going through like this whole thing where she wins the title, right? She has this great group. She elevates Damage Control. And then all of a sudden, Damage Control turns. She elevates them even higher because now they're heels and she's the baby face. And then she keeps elevating them up. She wins the title and she's elevating people. All the story angles they go back and touch on the Nia Jax injuries. Nia's talking about she's going to injure her again. Bailey's just giving. Hey, yeah, she wins the title. Blah blah blah. She's doing all these things. She eventually drops the title. She keeps doing all these gives, right? She gives, and the company just keeps taking from her. And then what did it do? They put her with Valkyria, and they said, "Hey, yo, what we need you to do is run the gauntlet. Run the gauntlet." So they run the gauntlet. They win, right? They go to win it. They go to a tag match, and then you take her out and you replace her with Becky, okay? And then the next night they drop the tag titles. Like, I understand, right? Like, I understand that you wanted to get Becky on the show, and you're gonna do it on the biggest stage of them all, right? At WrestleMania, you're gonna return Becky. Yay, she's back. My problem is that Bailey was your workhorse. She is your workhorse. She's the one day in, day out, weekend. You already said at Twitch. She's giving you everything that you need. So why are we taking these rewards away from the people who are giving us the most work and doing the most for us, only to give it to somebody who left the company because she was unhappy with the contract situation she was in, and then bring her back on the biggest night, right? At WrestleMania, she comes back. And you could have done it where like Bailey comes back, she wins, right? They win the tag titles because I think she's deserving so of winning the goddamn tag titles. She wins, and then you take her at Raw. She gets jumped, right? She gets told, hey, you're not medically cleared, and then like you see kind of like a shadow, but we're not really talking about who the shadow is. Adam Pearce is like, Joe, you want to take her place? Fine, go out there and represent. And it's Becky. At that
Right.
point, you bring in Becky at Raw, and then that's the biggest Raw of the year. And so many people are gonna be watching Raw on Netflix anyway. So why not have her debut on Netflix? So she comes back, and then they lose the titles, right? And I was thinking about this too. I was storyboarding it in my head right before we went on the air. Becky's up there. She starts the match off, right? Starts to get hot, right? Becky turns over, tags in Valkyria. Valkyria gets in. She takes the heat, comes in for the big tag. She goes to jump. Becky steps off. Double team move happens. Yeah, see? Double team move happens. Boom. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Tag titles gone. And Liv and Raquel run off with the tag titles. They go on to, do what they do. Then at that point, Becky gets up, manhandle slams, beats up Valkyria because that's what you wanted anyway. It was a women's intercontinental title to face off for. Cool. We can do those things. But you didn't have to take the spot away from Baylor. And by the way, to add further to this, what was the fucking point? That you take the
Thank
title,
you.
you took the titles off, of them, only to put the titles back on Liv. To what happened a week later? Liv is gone. Liv is gone for a couple months so that she can film a movie. What was the point? What's the point? But here's the worst part. You had her go to NXT. You had those two, Liv and Raquel, go to NXT to go defend the titles and beat two other teams. For what?
I'm so mad about the current state of the WWE tag team women's tag team division because if you knew that Liv was leaving, in my personal opinion, in my wholehearted personal opinion, either they should have retained on that Raw and built this up later for like a SummerSlam or something like that, or Gigi and them should have won the fucking tag titles at NXT.
And even if you're planning on like releasing those two, right? Releasing Gigi, and you knew it, and you were gonna wait 2 weeks to do it. So what? Strap them up, let them go for a couple weeks, and then have them lose the titles, and that's it. Wish them the farewell off. Or Jakira didn't have. Mind you, we'll talk about this later too. Jakira and Lash win because they've been busting their asses not just on NXT but on TNA as well, and you reward them for that. And then you can take the titles off of them 2 weeks later. At least they leave, women's tag team champions. But back to the topic, right? Bailey is now gone for we don't know how long. She'll come back at Backlash. I don't know. I'm just predicting that. Okay, she'll come back
I
at Backlash, and Lyra retains the title. Now it's Becky and Bailey at the next PLE.
You know what this really reminds me of?
What's that?
The sad, tragic tale of one Natalia, who gives you everything and everything: house shows, live events, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and you're just like, nah, get fucked.
Yeah.
Nah, get fucked.
Speaking of being a good little soldier, we're talking about another one. Karrion Cross drops that whole promo, right?
Bro,
What did Bill Goldberg tell me? Oh, be a good soldier. So that's what I did. You know what that got him? Released. And then you know what happened?
bro,
Got signed, got his time cut. Then guess what? Now he had a faction that he didn't even want. He didn't need. It was him anyway. The New Testament thing, it was cool for a second, but it wasn't necessary. So AOP comes on the roster for what? What did AOP? What was AOP with Karrion Cross for anyway? Miz got involved with that for what? It didn't do anything. Karrion Cross's work that he's been doing, where he's been sowing these little seeds of doubt, have worked on certain people. Right? It's the reason why we got to New Day as a heel faction.
yeah,
It was because of Karrion Cross. We had Sami Zayn, who was also kind of like on the fence about some things, wasn't quite sure, but Karrion Cross got him kind of convinced a little bit. AJ Styles got him questioned about his morals and stuff like that. Told him, yo, save himself. Like Karrion Cross's like character work has been so readily sewn through like a thread through this whole program in WWE. And what did you do? You put him on main event and have him lose to Dragon Lee in less than 8 minutes.
bro.
Not my idea of what I want for someone who just made a viral moment go, right? He talked about it. He was in Vegas, man. The crowd booed the shit out of him when he got eliminated from the Andre Battle Royale. And mind you, rightfully so, because hey, I'm gonna be real with you, Karrion. I don't want you winning that Andre the Giant Battle Royale, because we have seen the track. We were talking about it on the on the Villains Lounge watch along, that we have seen what that track record looks like. And to be fair, sorry Carmelo, it's kind of showing itself a little bit, because when was the last time we saw Carmelo Hayes wrestle? It's been a bit.
Jesus, yeah.
He wrestled on that SmackDown, and he won that, and 2 weeks has gone by, and guess who has not been in the ring? And now you mean to tell me we're about to get Aleister Black versus Carmelo Hayes? Mind you, match is probably gonna be fire. We'll put that out there. But what will be more importantly, Carmelo taking the L. And then guess
Oh
what?
yeah.
That's what's happening. That's what we're talking about. But I think go back to Karrion. Karrion comes out, he says that little thing to AJ, was like, yo, like, I don't do this, right? And he drops another thing about, about the grass being greener. He dropped that today or yesterday, I don't remember, but about the grass being greener, and he's like, nah, you need to water your lawn. This man is putting into work and like protecting this company the best that he can, doing the things that he should be doing, and he's just getting shit on. Like, was it because he did Future Stars of Wrestling? Was it because his friend Chris Bray, like, he was doing a tribute, and you guys told him that he could do it, but then when he went and did it, now you guys are kind of slowly like
A little
punishing him behind the
bummed about
scenes.
it.
Like, you're still a little pissy because he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go help raise money for my friend." Like, what is the reason? Because there's to me, with Bailey and with Karrion, there should be no reason why these guys are catching all these L's or getting pulled off of major shows. Is it because Bailey goes to Dynamite whenever her friend is wrestling and she goes and sees her best friend? Or maybe Mercedes goes and sees her behind the scenes to kind of go see her wrestle. Like, what's the problem? What's going on that we're just like openly just saying, well, you guys shouldn't care about these people? Because fans have their dedicated fan base and who they're going to go to. And clearly, Karrion Cross is over with the fans. And some fans are cheering him. Obviously, some fans are booing him. You guys just kind of ignore the situation that goes. And it irritates me because it's like, yo, this is a man that's doing so well. And you guys have got to stop pushing this man off to the side and be like, he's not over. He's not over. He is. He is very much over. And people are going to talk about him. And you guys keep talking about these viral moments that you guys keep wanting. And he said it. He said it best on the show. He said it in that promo. Like, when something happens, if it's not what you wanted, you just ignore it. And pretty soon, these fans are going to ignore what you guys want to do, and they're going to cheer for who they want to cheer. And you're going to have to change your plans. And that's going to be the biggest problem. And these underutilized players, man, especially with Bailey and Karrion Cross at the helm, you're gonna see these fans are gonna make some noise. You're gonna have to listen to them.
Or you can pretend to play dumb and ignore them and wait for the repercussions of it.
I mean, that's very much a true statement too. True statement. Uh,
It don't take but one fucked up event to kind of rock the boat of your fandom.
yeah. I mean, it like you're treading on you're treading on bad omens. Like it's happened
Whoever is
before.
watching this from WWE, you go tell Mr. Levesque to stop fucking over his full time wrestlers for part timers.
And we know you're watching. We know you're watching. And reason why we know you're watching is because Hunter said it himself. And I'm not gonna front, like I'm an active worker, and if somebody's paying attention, right? Somebody's watching. Anybody sees me constantly going on my stuff, they're gonna see that I'm gonna put this out. It's gonna be on my IG. This will be on my TikTok. This will be on my Twitter, right? And I know all my followings that's going on. Somebody watching it, and someone's gonna say something, and be like, "Yo, man, like, oh, this is what's happening." So I already know, and that's why I'll never see like a backstage.
Never say never.
I mean, if
Just
I
saying.
am, they're gonna put me in that spot with I'm gonna have a rumble spot that's gonna look like what you
Oh
call.
man,
I'm gonna be in an
don't do
iShow
it.
speed rumble spot.
Don't even.
Just get smoked by Braun Breaker. Yo, all right, let me hop over to these comments really quick.
Yep.
It says to be continued. Facts. Uh, Harley is a great character slash worker. She is an amazing worker, and she has an amazing character going on right now. I'm just mad because I don't want to see her get L after L after L after L, you know. But I did love the fact that she did tie in that she wanted to save Anna Jay's fat ass. That she was hugging it like after she lost. She was just like cuddled up with it. I was like, that was wild on Collision. I'm also put this up right here. W Rhea Ripley, women's champion, wins at Backlash 2025. Not likely because you know, not likely. I just put it out there.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into another one of my favorite topics. And you guys will get to know. We'll drop this here. It is one of our favorites, but it's not our favorite. This is one of them. Boom. Push or bury. So what does that mean? We're gonna push something that we really like from this week, wrestling, and then we're gonna bury something that we don't like of this week. You guys can comment too. We want to hear from you guys. What will you guys push? What will you guys bury? So put it in the comments and we'll pull it up and we'll talk with you guys. All right, Twitch. What were you pushing?
What am I pushing this week? Tony fucking Storm.
Mm.
Tony fucking Storm. I love when somebody gives her a mic and she just goes the fuck off. It is a very beautiful thing. Her screaming, "I'm here, I'm queer, and I'm timeless." It just had me on the ground rolling. She is a phenomenal talent, and this goes back to what we said. It doesn't take much for one thing to fucking change, and WWE let her go, and now look at her. She is skyrocketed
Facts.
to the fucking moon.
To the moon. So hold on, let me adjust some things real quick as we talk about it. Hey, Damien, we on push and bury, bro. So whatever you want to push.
Oh, okay. Um, hmm.
Mind you, also I haven't get my push yet. So
All right, go ahead. Do your thing. I'm thinking.
all right, you think? Let me push. Let me push AJ Francis. This man out here. A lot of people have been talking about the spot from TNA, right? Leon Slater's Swanton 450 from the 15-foot Raptor when everybody claimed that nobody caught. And originally, I also too in the same boat. I will be fair. The
Yeah,
way it looked rough, right? It looked like no one caught that man.
yeah,
However, when you go back and watch, AJ Francis caught this man. It was just him and Sidney Akeem, and there was another person there who may or may not have tried to push a person away. I'm not gonna say who, but nonetheless, like Sidney Akeem, and you saw Vikingo and AJ Francis there, and AJ talked about it later, and you kind of see it in Leon's face too when Leon says to AJ, hey, thank you, for saving me. He's like, and now I'm a Hardy boy. Uh, but Yeah, I will. I will push AJ, man. AJ deserves a lot of love because that man definitely did his job, what he was supposed to do, and he needs to get that love for it.
AJ is phenomenal talent all around. His
Yep.
promo book is great.
He seems like a cool guy.
Yeah. Also represents 410.
Yes, he does.
Yep. Yep. All right, Damien, what you got?
So push. I'm gonna say Naomi,
Mm. Mm.
and there's another shit. There's like right on the tip of my tongue.
I ain't mad about that. Naomi's a good pick though. She's been doing some
Why
incredible
can't
heel
it's
work.
like on the tip of my fucking tongue?
I can't front you. I love Naomi's catchphrase right now.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
Like I'm liking everything she's doing right now, and like I just want her to get that opportunity to be a heel champion.
Yeah.
Like I
That
think she'll be very, very good.
proceed with caution is definitely catching.
Carmelo and Miz.
You trying to push them?
Yeah,
Huh? I
like
mean,
What
I
an
want to support
interesting
them.
decision.
yeah, especially after what I just said
You
in the last.
clearly have not been watching this show.
No, nope, I have not. But that's what I want to see.
I mean, so I'll say it. I'll say it like I'll just recap it for you, bro.
All right, bet.
With Aleister Black back, beating Miz. Obviously, we're teasing the Carmelo Hayes, Aleister Black for this week on SmackDown. Um, I'm expecting another L for
I
Carmelo,
am too.
but the problem is that Carmelo hasn't been on. He hasn't wrestled a match
Yeah,
on SmackDown since winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royale trophy.
I
I do
mean,
want to see a push. I do want to see them win the tag titles. I love the
I
Miz's
like the
and
teaming up. I like the team up. I'm liking the dynamic. They actually fit way too well together.
yeah,
Kind of reminds me of like Miz and Morrison back in the day.
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So like, I definitely want to see that. And then I'm going to go with my same thought. Bury Tony Khan.
Well, I mean, I already figured that's gonna be a dumbass of the week. So,
Yeah.
um, okay. Well, Twitch,
We all know.
what you got for a Barry?
What do I got for Barry? Uh, Barry Carmelo Hayes.
Wow. Why you gotta be like that?
What an interesting decision.
It's
What's your reasoning? Let me hear it.
it's what you get for beating Karrion Cross in,
Oh,
but it's also what you get for winning the fucking Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Like
that gets nobody anything.
that gets nobody anything.
Nothing.
Most likely fired.
You know what? Yeah, I was trying so hard to avoid saying that.
Oh no
and-
no 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 no. Let's keep it on it. Pretty much every winner has at least been let go and is gone.
Yeah,
There's only but so many people that are there and that maybe benefited from it.
I don't think anybody's benefited from it.
There's only been like one or two.
I think Braun Breaker won it 1 year, didn't he? I don't.
Yeah, did he?
I don't know. I don't know who all. I forgot. I said it on the last time that we were on the show, and I don't remember this time.
Fuck.
Let me do my Barry. Yo, let me bury John Cena's now intro for ring announcers. Let me bury that because, like, yeah, I get it. You're the GOAT. Yeah, I get it. You're a 17-time champion. You should be able to say that, right? I don't like the fact that he has to bring announcers in every week and have him read a piece of paper that has him talking about who he is. And yeah. It just gives me small penis syndrome for him.
To make a quick comment before you go do your Barry, Damien. There has been one person who has won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and is still with the company?
I already looked at it. Yeah. No, it's two.
No.
Outside of Carmelo Hayes.
Well,
Outside of
outside of
Carmelo Hayes,
Carmelo Hayes. Yes, outside of Carmelo Hayes.
there's three.
Bronson Reed.
Yes, Bronson Reed is also the other one.
Yeah.
He's
So
kind of benefited from winning because of the push that he's gotten. Jey
And then
Uso's
look
the
what
world
it got him. Shelved for almost a year.
broke his ankle. You can't even
Yup.
blame that on like
Yes, I
nobody
can.
else.
You won the Battle Royal. That's what you get. It's a curse.
Jey Uso is the world champion
Jey Uso is the world champion, but
Yeah,
and
but
won the
look what he
Royal
had.
Rumble.
Look what he had to go through.
for every Jey Uso, there's a Baron Corbin.
Oh
Like,
yeah. So you got
not a
so
good look.
Cesaro's first winner, Big Show, Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley, Matt Hardy, Braun Strowman, Jey Uso, Madcap Moss, Bobby Lashley, Bronson Reed, Carmelo Hayes.
Madcap Boss. There's another. No, I ain't even going. Nope. Just gonna keep
Leave
my
that
mouth
poor
shut on
man
that
alone.
one.
Leave
Nope,
that man alone.
nope, didn't even. Yeah, nothing, nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like, look at like, and even at that, Madcap Moss. Remember, because they were like trying to figure out something new to do with him,
Yeah.
and then they teamed him up with Happy with Happy Corbin. Who was Baron Corbin? Who was another winner of that thing? Remember too, when Baron Corbin won it too, he had long hair. He was like
Yep.
balding out, and like he won it.
He
I'm
had
like,
that
"Oh,
Butler from Scary
2016.
Movie hair.
that's crazy to me
That
to
was
think that
2016.
Matt Hardy won it too. That's what I'm saying. Like when you look at it, man, like only like 3 people are still with the company that have won that title,
Yeah.
won that, and it's sad times of this world.
All right, well then I guess I'll change my Barry from Tony. He's still gonna be dumbass of the week, but I think I'm gonna have to do the Andre the Giant. Royal. Like I think that needs to be buried and just put the rest. I love Andre. Do not get me wrong. Change it to a tournament.
Yeah, well, don't even change to a tournament. You have King of the Ring. Just
That is
just
true.
call it just call it the WrestleMania Battle Royale. And the winner, like I would say, right? The winner gets an automatic entry into Money in the Bank. You can't make it significant. You
Ooh.
can't make it
That actually
significant.
is not bad.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
good.
See, I was thinking more of like the winner gets like a United States title or Intercontinental title shot.
Nah, give
Nah,
an
I don't
opportunity.
know. I
Give,
like,
But
I like
no,
Money
I
in
like
the
that.
Bank.
Money
yeah,
in the Bank is a lot better.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's way too
because
much potential for
yeah,
that.
because here's the thing, right? So you win a Rumble, you automatically get a chance at the WWE title or the heavyweight title. You get the chance to you get your title shot. I think winning the WrestleMania just give them the opportunity to cash in, right? To get to work for the Money in the Bank. I think that's fair. I
Yeah.
think that's fair. Because then if you win King of the Ring, at that point you can kind of I would say you're the workhorse, right? You're the king of the workhorses. That's why you should get a shot at the Intercontinental title or at the U.S. title. Also, that's fair wins. But yo, let's move over to number our second debate topic, which is going to be we're talking about heel Cena and face Orton. So now we're in our heel Cena phase where he's coming out and talk about the days he's counting down. We know that Orton is his first title defense, and it's been kind of funny because uh, before I quit my job, for those who don't know, I had a lot of people telling me that Orton was winning at Backlash, and I was like, "Y'all smoking crack." I don't know why you guys think that this is happening, but how are we feeling about this right now?
Damien.
Uh, damn. I guess Randy ain't getting his 15th.
Mm,
But it's a nice. I'll put it like this though. It's a nice like. It's one of those where it's like, damn, we've seen this 100 times, but I'm kind of curious because this will be the first time that they have switched roles
right.
since like facing each other. So I'm curious on that point. It's going to be fun. It's a good, nice little hype for it. It's just this is just a stop on like a small stop on John Cena's retirement train.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, Randy ain't beating him.
Mm-mm.
let's
No way.
let's keep that like a stack. It's not happening.
What you got, Twitch?
That question seems like clickbait, and I will field another question. I ain't. I don't. We all know Orton is losing this match. The only thing that's going to make this match entertaining for me, because I have a feeling it's going to be the slow pace that it was with Cody. Orton's going to try his best to speed the pace up, but I don't think it's going to happen. I The only thing that's going to make this match fun to me is if Brock Lesnar returns.
Mm. I will say this, right? The build to this match has been very entertaining. I love the fact that it is Orton that this is first. I love the promo battles that these guys have been having back and forth. I love the promo that he cut this last week on SmackDown. I know that we're getting John Cena on SmackDown this week,
Yeah.
right? So obviously we're gonna cut another promo. I don't know. Everything to me right now is just fire for this whole program, and I think Randy was the right person to do first,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because
First. Yeah.
yeah, because you have
Like
Cody, have Randy. He's the next big baby face. Kind of work through it after
he
that.
doesn't hurt Randy by losing. That's the
No,
thing.
No,
absolutely not.
no.
Like this is kind of like I said. This is almost as like a nostalgia, not a nostalgia tour for him to face some old opponents, face some new ones. Have a little fun. So yeah, like I enjoyed the promo battles too. Like Orton's laid him out twice.
Right. Yeah,
Nostalgia ain't always good to repeat.
this is true.
uh, True, but this is not something that they've beat with a dead horse. We haven't
This,
seen this in a while.
yeah, when we got John Cena originally as a heel, he was we had a Doctor of Thugonomics originally, and now we're getting like a John Cena, like a real John Cena heel, not like a character. I mean, not like a character John Cena, but we're
Yeah,
getting like the John Cena heel turn, and everything that he's saying, man, is true, man. Like, because he was on the Pat McAfee show, man, and it was funny listening to him talk about it on Pat McAfee, where like he's like, "Yo, no, you fans are the problem. You guys bullied me into getting hair transplants in the back of my hair to fix my head. Like, you people are the problem." Like, and for real, like he's been talking about like the last 20 years he's been taking this punishment. What I think is crazy is I wish that we could have got John Cena at 265, 270 pound John Cena versus this 290 pound Randy Orton versus, and I'm not taking anything from John. I know John, you're still super strong, but you are 225, 230. Like you're a smaller John Cena than what you were. You look like John Cena, prime John Cena, regurgitated John Cena.
You look like
like
Ernest
like
from
like
all the Ernest
you mean
movies.
like right before the prototype,
Right
like
before the prototype.
prototype started taking off
Right.
Yeah.
because like earlier when he first started, he was gaining and
Yeah.
gaining, and then like when like that prototype gimmick got like huge, that man was massive,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
massive.
Yep. And now
So,
he's tiny prototype.
I
He's
mean, I get it. It might feel better in the ring for him. It might make
yeah.
him a little faster.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't need to be faster,
No,
especially
he
right
really
now.
doesn't. He really
He
doesn't.
doesn't. Yeah.
He doesn't have to do anything.
No.
Just to
No.
be honest.
He could just be swole Cena and just move slow as a rock and then
Right.
stomp people out. Like, what's funny though is like when you look at Randy Orton, when he was like, 20, we'll say 2012 through, or 2009 Orton, we'll use that one. That Orton worked slow too. He was just slow and methodical with
Yeah,
everything. Just, I'm gonna stomp on a finger, I'll stomp on a hand, I'll stomp on a foot, I'll stomp on the other foot. Then he just looks at people, I'll stomp him in the gut. Then he was just slow with his movements. And now we're watching John Cena do the same thing. It's like clearly both y'all were trained at OVW. Because like the way your heel work works is exactly how, you know, the doc had it. Like it's clear. It's very clear of like what's going on right now. So I laugh about it, but I'm very excited to see this dynamic happen. So um yeah, that's it. So final thoughts for you, Al.
Uh, Final thoughts. Solid match. Not what you expect.
What you got, Damien?
It's going to be a lot more fun than people are going to expect. Like, they're going to love this match. They're going to fucking kill it. They're going to go out there and do their thing, hype it up. It's going to be big. And it's going to be entertaining. Like that, I feel like that's what this is. Enjoy
I,
the moment.
I will say this, right? So let's have some fun. If we're all pretty much agreeing that Randy's not winning, but who do we think is next for John Cena?
Like after Randy.
Yeah,
Well, if like I said happens, then that's next. But I don't honestly see that happening.
Yeah, but see, but
He's
my thing is,
retired.
why would you bringing Brock back? That's going to make people cheer Cena.
yeah,
Damien, have you not watched the product? People have been cheering.
Even more. I mean, even more. He gets his booze
He
too.
gets his booze, but I'm going to be honest with you. He gets a lot more cheers than he does booze.
Well, yeah, he does. But I'm just saying, we don't. Bringing Brock, bringing him back is right this moment is not a good idea.
Mm.
I think it's a
Like,
solid
don't get
idea.
me wrong, I miss him just because he brings that. You know that when he's around, he brings that like level of intensity and excitement. You want
yeah.
to see who is he gonna murder, or who's gonna actually pull off a victory. So like, but at the same time, if you're gonna do it, I'd do it at the end, like towards
Do it
the
at
end.
the end.
Yeah,
I couldn't
like
be
I'd
more
do it
with
towards the end, and I don't think it needs a title.
Mm.
I
that.
say
None of us.
John Cena. I say John Cena loses the title to whoever. It kind of really doesn't fucking matter,
It'll be
and
Cody.
it's because of Brock.
Mm. I think yeah. I
That
think
sets
he
up
loses
like
Cody.
yeah, and that sets up like his last like match or two, like a last couple of matches could be one of them could be Brock. So what you thinking? Maybe like
October.
Survivor Series, he loses the title.
Yeah, I would say War Games.
Yeah,
Well,
and then
apparently there's no war games this year. No war
that's
games, no King or Queen of the Ring.
yeah, I
Survivor
heard something
Series.
about that.
Well, I think people are tired of like I still think you have War Games. Like I'll say it like this, and I said it before. You have Survivor Series coming up. There needs to be a true Survivor Series like match
It-
on Survivor Series.
Agreed.
But I still think you need to have War Games. Like I love the War Games concept. I think it's awesome. But I think you need to have that's the whole point of Survivor Series was
The
there was no
Survivor Series
title.
match.
Yeah, no titles were to be defended on Survivor Series. It was just A,
yeah,
you had the champion and the challenger for the next PLE
yep,
was going to be facing off.
Pay
But
per
they were
view.
going to, yeah, what we'll call pay per view. We're going to be competing on that December pay per view, which in this case, I would have said Cody. So you have Team Cena versus Team Cody in a Survivor Series match, and then you go on to the next one. And I would even say Team Cena wins over Cody. Uh, I'm gonna say my next person I think should be facing off against John before SummerSlam, right? Because I have my person for SummerSlam already. Um, I think the next person that's got to face off against him should be Rey Mysterio. Even though I know right now he's got his torn abductor. I say that
Yeah.
right
yeah.
now, but
Where
I
is that?
right in the leg,
Okay.
inside leg. Um, he's got his torn abductor. Um, and I would love to see it, but it would have to be like it would be Ray. If it's not Ray, it's KO, and obviously KO has his neck injury, so he's kind of
Yeah.
gone from it. Um, I would think that you would do. I'm trying to think of like another big baby face that I would do, like Montez Ford. You do Montez. I know he's the SmackDown champ right now, but he's kind of like the next big baby face.
You know what?
And
I can see
then,
that being a fun ass match.
hmm
Get somebody young
yeah,
and
So,
like
not to get off topic, but who do you have for SummerSlam? Because now I'm interested.
or Survivor. Yes, yes, I'm saying.
Roman.
yeah,
Okay.
OTC.
I
Okay.
can see that.
I think so. I mean, it's the next.
Yeah, for
Like, think
sure.
about it. if we're gonna go back and the title eventually goes back to Cody, that means the OTC at some point has to face John Cena.
Yeah.
Is it
And
bad that I don't want the title to go back to Cody?
no, it's
No,
not.
it's not. I mean, I wouldn't mind it being reversed. Cody gets the first crack at SummerSlam, and then
Well,
Roman
and then
gets the
later down
Survivor
the line.
Series,
And
Yeah.
takes the title.
Roman takes the title off of him.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. I like that. I like that aspect.
like that'd be hot. I wouldn't be mad at that.
I wouldn't be mad. I'd be for that one. I know a lot of people would be like, "Boo!" Like whatever. I don't care. But yeah, I think yeah, for me, SummerSlam OTC would definitely have to be the next person up, and then after that, the next pay per view, you'd put Cody, in that SummerSlam or in the Survivor Series spot. So, I that's the way I see it. And then from there, I think he only has like 20 appearances left,
Yeah,
Uh
yeah.
huh.
and
It's
then
like
he's
20
done.
something.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna go quick.
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
I love it too because like I think they started off with 35, and then he started
Yeah,
doing at Netflix, and he started doing the countdown, and I was like, "Oh no, we're losing a lot. We're losing a lot of appearances because we're getting on SmackDown, and then he'll be at the PLE for
Yep.
Backlash.
That's
So we know
two.
there's two right there. So we're down into the 20s, and I was like, "Oh no, we're down in the low 20s." Like I was thinking about this, I was like, "I'm not ready to like watch John like retire off into the sunset just yet." But I'm
right.
also very excited for him to retire off in the sunset. So I'm like,
It's
damn, bro.
weird because it's like, oh, he said it, and then like as time is ticking away, it's like, damn,
Hmm.
we're not gonna see him wrestle anymore.
Right, right.
Like, we'll probably
It's
see
not
him.
all that heartbreaking.
Wow. Well,
Nope.
I'm sorry that you don't like John Cena like that.
I didn't say I don't like John Cena like that. I'm just saying, until the Netflix debut, when was the last time you saw him wrestle? Like,
I think it was Solo was the last person he wrestled at Survivor Series. We got
He
Survivor
did.
Series, SummerSlam.
uh-huh.
Took that Samoan spike. Got
Yeah, he
destroyed
did.
by it.
Like a champ.
Well, like the last champ.
Yeah, he did.
Actually, and at some point in time, actually, now I'm thinking about it out loud. At some point, he's gonna have to face off against CM Punk.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Oh
He
yeah.
talked about I'm gonna blow you a kiss and disappear into the crowd. Bitch, you're not CM Punk. You are not Phil Brooks.
Nope. You're not.
Okay, well, my question is this: how funny if it be if he really leaves with the title?
I mean, I'm not objective to that.
I'm not objective to it, but realistically it ain't gonna happen.
But what
No.
if it does?
Then I'm like, yo,
It could. You know, it's really could.
like, but the idea. So to me, what that tells me though is that like Ari and Hunter, right? Ari and Paul, we'll just use real name. Ari and Paul are legitimately trying to get rid of the McMahon. Like,
That's what I was
takes
thinking.
Yeah.
and to
Yeah,
get rid
that's
of the
exactly what I
WWE
was
title.
thinking.
Yeah, because you know Hunter made the new heavyweight championship,
Yeah.
gets rid of the old one,
Yep.
and then he brings in his own WWE title. Yeah, that would be wild. Like this is the last thing that was associated with VKM, the one that we do not speak of, the Voldemort of this sport.
Say his name and let's hope he doesn't appear.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, it could happen. That is because I was thinking the same exact thing, Cliff. Like this could be a way for them to kind of like start clean,
Yeah, it could.
like legitly start clean.
Yeah, and then you start bringing in UFC fighters and start punishing people, punching them
Oh,
for
please
real.
no. Oh, please no. Please no.
I'm gonna share this with y'all, right? And I'll probably catch some heat from somebody somewhere in some random ass state. They'll be all pissy about it. So I went to a show. As you guys know, I was traveling, right? So, and this is right before we'll get into everybody's favorite segment here in a second. So you know, I went to West Virginia Friday, and then I came home, and I went to Maine. I took my buddy with me, and my buddy was he's been talking a lot of smack about how he's like, well, I think I can do this too. He's like, you know, I see you, pops. He's like, you still move pretty good for someone. So I had him come in the ring. I had him take a bump, and he was like, no. And it's funny because like one of the other wrestlers made fun of him because he took his bump, and it was the softest bump I've ever heard, right? And he goes, "Oh," he's like, "You was like you," and he got hyped too. He was like, "Boo." Like, so like, it was like, "What are you trying to protect yourself?" I was like, "Bro, you gotta attack this mat, bro. You gotta make it sound loud." And so he hit the first one, then the second one he hit a little harder. He was like, "Oh, no." He's like, "No, this is not good." And then he hit a third one. He was like, "You know what?" He's like, "I'm glad I tried this, but this is not for me." I was like, "Good for you. Good for you."
It's not for everybody, man. It is
It's not,
not for
but he was
everybody.
mad excited. So we went to Damien, we went to Supernova, and he got to experience what it was like to be at an indie show, and he was like, "Bruh, this was so much fun." He's like, "I didn't know I was gonna have this much fun watching wrestling in real time," and I think that's important. So like a lot of people who are fans of like WWE and AEW, and they watch it on TV and stuff like that, but they've never been to an indie show. I would ask you to go check out an indie show,
Oh
and
yeah, you have
If
so much
you
fucking
want
fun.
to take in pro wrestling and actually fucking enjoy it without 30 million promos in there and one match, avoid a WWE show, avoid an AEW show. Go watch an indie show. Go watch your local talent. I'm telling you, you'll have a fucking blast.
You
yeah,
will. You
it'll
will.
be
It's
real
actually a
fun.
lot of fun, a lot more freedom. I can't wait to come back so I can make little children cry.
That well, with that being said, we're gonna hop into Damien's favorite and as well as all of our favorite, part of the show.
It's Damien's Dumb Ass of the Week.
All right. Well, all right. So the first one is Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff.
Oh, Jesus.
Yo, hold up. While Chaz is like a super pro at doing this thing, I am not. So I'm like slowly like trying to put this all back together, like figuring out how to do this whole thing. Let's see.
We all know why they're going on there.
Yep.
I would figure that they had two cracks at this and like failed. I would figure that they wouldn't try a third time.
Nope.
Listening to the concept, this seems like the was it the XFL?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so they want to bring sports entertainment to amateur wrestling. Is that what I'm hearing?
Rumored.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Yeah. Something to that effect.
Yeah, so you guys get on there for that. And you know what? I like Bischoff. I mean, fuck Hogan, but I like Bischoff.
Nah, his hat's in the ring with Hogan now, so fuck him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, now the problem is they want to start that podcast up too.
I'd rather them do the podcast than the goddamn company.
I
I'll
don't
be,
want to hear a thing you have to say.
I'll be fair. Yeah. I'm gonna pass on all of it.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not gonna watch it, but I mean, there will be some people that would. I would rather them do the podcast. If I'm being really honest, at least they won't lose money on that.
Yeah. Well,
Just time. Now they're getting ready to lose time and money.
good for them.
I mean,
No, that's good for them.
They
Fuck
could no.
them.
No, they could lose that money and time. Yeah,
my thing,
that real American beer, they can lose all that.
dude, I would figure that Eric would be smart because how good is that beer really doing?
I don't know.
I don't know the sales numbers.
No, sounds
Yeah,
wrong.
and you probably won't. 'Cause
Yeah.
there probably isn't any.
Oh no, I've definitely seen some people drinking it.
Oh,
I'll
really?
yeah, I'll be fair. I'll be fair. I've seen some
Oh,
people drinking it.
okay. All right, and number two, Tony Khan, of course.
Tony, yeah, of course.
Um, I wasn't on last week, and I know he did something dumb the week before.
So, fun fact about Real American Beer, it's available in 23 states. It is the official beer of the WWE, and it only trails Sam Adams currently as the most popular light beer.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Huh.
Approximately 135 billion in beer sales.
Well, then I guess there ain't that many people that really hate him as much as we thought.
Like, yep. And we all
Or
know
people like shitty beer.
yeah, it's cheap beer. We know
That's
that.
what I'm
Oh,
going to go
that's
with. Is
probably
people
why.
like shitty beer.
Like, no,
That's probably what it is. It's like
that's
it
the
keeps me
that's
drunk.
the beer that we use when we're like playing beer pong.
Not even.
He's right. Not even.
Not
All
even.
right. So we have Hogan and Bischoff, Tony Khan. Who else we got?
Oh, somebody did something. Oh, hold up. I feel like somebody did something really stupid.
Does it have to be this week?
No.
We could do
No.
last week too. Yeah, who did something
Can,
last week?
can we go back to WrestleMania?
Who you want to put?
I want to put Damien on there for his egregious comments that opening WrestleMania is just as good and equal to
Yeah,
closing
no,
WrestleMania.
it is. Sorry.
No,
I stand by what I said.
you
I
smoke methamphetamine.
stand by what I said.
I don't
Opening
know.
WrestleMania is just as good as closing WrestleMania.
No, you're
I stand by that.
I,
You ain't gonna tell me
I
any
mean,
different.
I don't think it's as good. I think I mean, it's a second, but it's not. It's not as good.
I disagree. I still stand by what I said.
That's fine. You can stand by your wrong opinion all you want.
My opinion is not wrong.
No,
That's
I'll
why,
be fair. Let me put
that's
one
why
up
it's
here.
called an opinion.
Let me put one up here. I don't want to use names, okay? But outside of AJ Francis, Sidney Akeem, everybody in that goddamn pile that Leon Slater
man.
let Leon Slater listen. If your name is not AJ Francis, Sidney Akeem, and you were in that scrum that let Leon Slater face bump off
Man.
that 15-foot platform, you got to go in the dumbass. Like I don't even know how to like put that in as like because there's not that many characters because I don't want to put the scrum at TNA. I don't want to put that because that would include people that I just said don't belong there. But there's one in particular who like, hey, he
Can we
missed
get
it.
the initials?
Yeah, 100%. Like if you think, what do you call those people who let me see the initials that I'm looking for that would mark it perfectly. The what do you call it when you have a person who is uh uh the guy that intros everybody that comes into the ring, not the announcer, but what do they call him? What's his like official title? It's the letter right before N.
I'm just gonna sit here now.
Yeah. Hey, listen. You know who you are. You missed him. You missed him 100%, bruh. Like it's gotta be you, but I can't say you. But you know who you are. I know that. Like I'm definitely like I'm like
I
yo.
mean, you could.
I could
You
listen.
very well could, but I
I
understand
could.
All right. How about this? Hey, Cliff,
What's up?
send it to me in the group chat. I'll say it for you.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get caught up in this. Oh shit! Hold on.
I'll be that guy.
That's
I
fine.
don't
That's
mind.
fine. That's fine. Give me a second. I'll put it right now. There you go. Now you can check it in the chat.
All right.
I can't wait. I'm about to get. Someone's gonna be like, "You can't."
Oh, you right. You right. You right. Oh, God, you are right. Oh, all right. I'll be the bad guy. Sorry, buddy. I like you two so much, but Cliff's right. He's taking my spot. Uh, Matt Cardona needs to go on that list for dumbass of the week. God damn it! I don't like you, guy.
And the
I
funny
feel
part,
bad.
yeah,
I feel bad that like, ah,
if you watch that spot back, he's the only one. Like him And like even like Moose is there, and like I think Moose like grabbed like the quad or something of like Leon, like but Matt is the only one that's like try to Heisman him to AJ. Like, and like even at the like he's still like a full second before like he gets there. And like I can't be mad at certain people, right? So AJ made the catch, like he tried to catch, and it was just him. Sydney was on there trying to grab the chest. I think Moose tried to grab a leg. Casey Navarro was out of position, and that's not on his fault. That's not your fault. I just know where you were in the scrum. And then Vikingo was like next to he was like smashing between Sydney and AJ Francis. So there's really only one person on the other side who should be trying to catch Leon, and it's the man formerly known as Zack Ryder. Like, did you, man? That's your job. Like, so to me, I'm watching it back, and I'm like, and I remember at first when I first watched it, I saw it drop, and I was like, nobody caught this man. And I saw
Because
AJ.
that's what it looked like.
It looked like it.
Like when you see the clip, like at
Yeah.
first it's like, damn, nobody like really caught this man.
Nobody loves this man.
But then like if you like you said, you watch it back and you
Yeah.
like actually pay attention, it's like, okay, some people tried, and I feel like almost everybody was like out of position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like he didn't look like he extended it too far out, so it doesn't look like he was too much out of position. I feel like it was more for everybody else, and nobody was paying it. It was like almost they saw it too late.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? Like they're sitting there doing their thing, trying to make sure he gets up there, and maybe I don't know. Maybe they underestimated the fact of how fast that fool was going to get to the top.
I don't know. Like I
He
said,
got up there kind of fast though.
Not even so much get to the top, get to the fucking bottom, because that man came down quick.
but still, my problem is
You
that
should have caught him.
y'all was in this scrum,
Right?
and the only person that stands out when you break it down and you look for like if you watch it full speed, you're kind of like, oh shit, like no one caught him. But when you break it down, like sorry man, frame by frame, it was the Heisman pose, like up to the distance. So yeah, that's my problem. So all right, so we've got 3 names. Let's get a 4th one up here for fans to vote on for our dumbass of the week. We got anybody else that we would put on this list?
So we got Matt, we got Tony, we
Hogan
got
and Bischoff.
Hogan.
You know
and
what? I do have one. I'll tell you guys who it is. It's whoever pulled the trigger on letting Liv and Raquel win the women's tag titles back, knowing Liv was gonna go film a movie and be
Bro.
gone for a couple months.
Oh,
Because all that led to a lot of other things that did not need to happen.
that is kind of funny. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
I'm gonna,
Yep.
I'm just gonna call it the creative team.
Yeah, that was a bad idea, guys. That really was a bad idea. I
Yeah.
wonder. Hold on, though. The question is, though, how long did they know that she was going to be going out for the movie?
This has
It-
been on the internet for at least 3 months.
But here's
I wasn't sure. No, like I wasn't sure if it was one of those things where, like, it was like, oh, guess what? You got the role. You know what I mean? And
No,
Yeah.
Liv wrote this movie, from my understanding. The movie that's coming out was written by her.
wow.
WWE had to have known about this for more than a couple of months.
Yeah. So I'll be fair. I'll say it. Like WWE gets presented with these options, these opportunities to do these things. So like it's not like they didn't know. Because remember, Damien Priest talked about a certain role that he was supposed to have in the Marvel Universe that got presented to him, but the E told him no because they didn't present it to Damien. So again, the E kind of has to be at fault at this. That you were like, oh no, it's fine. Go ahead, take 2 months off with the championship because Dom tried the same move. Dom was like, yo, can I take some time off too as the champion? And they're like, no, unfortunately, as the Intercontinental Champion, you have to be here and work. because you're a champion. Well, wait a minute. Do two females that you just let go off into the sunset for a couple months are also champions? Like, God, you guys could have waited on all this stuff. This pisses me off. So that's our all right.
All
So
right,
there you guys go.
there you go.
So you
I'm
got Hogan and
agreeing.
so you guys got Hogan and Bischoff. You got Tony Khan. You got the creative team at WWE, and you got the man formerly known as Zack Ryder. So there's you guys. There's the
I
post.
guess.
You guys go with that. You guys do that. You guys make your votes. Let it be known. We'll read the results at the end after this debate topic, which our debate topic is going to be not really a debate topic. It's really more of us just kind of, well, I'll be fair. It's kind of me just complaining because, you know, no, I'll be fair. WWE releases happened on Friday.
Oh
28
yeah.
of them since 28 of them since January. A lot of releases were kind of surprising to me, at least they were surprising. I don't know how y'all feel about it. But yeah, let's talk about some of these releases. I had the list up here. Let me pull it back up. So I'm gonna read just the ones that got released Friday. Now, as I mentioned, there's been 28 of them since January started. So Hunter's clearly getting rid of people as he doesn't need them. But this is not unlike anything that happens after WWE. We see this kind of time in, time out. What do they call it? Is it like Black Friday or
Black Sunday.
Black Sunday? But this happened on Friday, so we'll call it release Fridays. I don't know. All right. So current WWE superstars that got released, and then additional ones that got added to it. So we got Braun Strowman, Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, Cora Jade, Riley Osborne, Gigi Dolan, Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, Jakara Jackson, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and then Wolfgang. Those were the big releases. Now I will say, I was definitely surprised that Gallus got released. Gallus was the one that caught me off guard because especially after they helped get The Rock back into the ring and they were like there to help him and train with him to get him back in shape. Like you would think that I don't know, maybe the chairman of one of the board members would have tried to save those three for helping them get back into the business. But fuck me for trying to speak logically on some shit. Um let's go down this list real quick. Braun Strowman, like that dude was really putting over like other big men, and like obviously with Bronson Reed, Jacob Fatu, and I kind of felt like something was going on when I started seeing him lose time after time after time to guy after guy after guy, and I was like, this is getting ridiculous. I don't dig this. Shayna Baszler getting cut really threw me off course, but it shouldn't have been surprising. They're not really used on TV. It's great. Sonya Deville's back. Zoe Stark, whatever they're gonna do, cool. Um, Sorry, Shayna. Much love, but now you can get into GCW and you can go do Bloodsport every year and have fun. Dakota Kai
I
was
understand Dakota Kai.
I don't.
She's injured more than she's not.
I mean,
Not
yeah.
saying she's not a great talent. Not saying that she wasn't just, in a title for what, or in a match for what, the Intercontinental title tournament.
Hmm.
Uh, Lost to obviously Lyra Valkyria, and then you're gone again.
Yeah. It was rough. I like Dakota Kai. Cora Jade, again, two ACL, MCL injuries. I do understand. Like, with that thought process about Dakota Kai, I definitely understand that with Cora Jade. Riley Osborne, I'm going to put it out there. Who?
Yeah.
Sorry.
The kid from Chase U.
Yeah, again.
Who?
Oh, I mean, after that was over with, I mean, he didn't do much.
No, stop it. We all turned into a bunch of owls when they said Riley Osborne's been released, and we're like, who? 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 Sorry, Riley. I understand. I know. Chase you, right? But not the you, but hey, who? Gigi Dolan getting released.
That
They don't,
surprised the fuck out of me.
yeah,
Shame upon you people.
100%. That is a talent right there.
You
And
did her so fucking dirty.
yep, 100%. Like, yo,
You win a match to face the women's tag team champions. You're on TNA Rebellion.
yep,
You lose your match for the women's tag team titles, and then you're fired.
yep,
Get fucked.
yep, 100% on the same boat. Kaden Carter, Katana Chance. Listen,
I can understand why.
I love them. I
I do
think,
too, but
yeah,
I get it. They look. They survived a lot of cuts.
they made a lot of cuts.
It's like they've survived a lot of cuts, so they should be honored that it took this long.
Yep, and I mean they had a lot of people believing in them, and they let's be real though, they were lit. They were a fun
They
tag team
were.
to watch. I love seeing them work.
They
I was
did.
like,
They
yo,
were
I'm
very
here
good
for
tag
it. I'm
team.
here for it all. Um, Jakara Jackson. So this is one that I didn't understand. Like I understand that we broke up. We broke up the four. Um, and they all kind of were gonna go on their own direction. And I get that Lash is the star, right? No arm, no Mar is good, right? But Lash is the star for that. But Jakara Jackson is also really good at what she does.
Yeah.
And I don't say she's picture perfect because she's obviously still very, very green in it. But the thought process that she's not she's not ready. She was working super hard. So I'm curious as to, and we'll talk about this as well. If this was like a report where uh, Dave Meltzer was talking about people being lazy, because I didn't see it with Jakara. She was very hard. She looked like she was always in a ring. She was steadily improving. So I'm very curious as to like why she went. Um, and then the last three, like I said, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang didn't make sense to me, like at all. Like these three dudes are talented dudes. Like
Oh no, they are. Well,
you want Gallus on your
pretty
show.
much everybody that was released, very talented.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
let's keep it real. Um, I think for me, all right. So because we are fans of these wrestlers, fans of wrestling, it sucks when you hear that somebody like is being released from their well paying job.
Yep.
But unfortunately, this happens all the time
It
in,
does.
in life. And granted, yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, it's still a job. And like sometimes people lose their fucking jobs. It sucks. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. It sucks. But I mean, like it sucks.
No.
He said no.
Listen, the tariffs are only affecting the gas prices for WWE, okay? That's it. They're not paying for anything. They have all the lights all set up. Would they got to pay for a new light bulb every once in a while? The LED might go out. No. No. Like these guys, like I get it because when you want to, and I do understand when it comes to like, are we utilizing this dude as much as possible, and is it comparable to the salary that they're making? And if not, I get it. I understand. Make the cut, right? I just think that there's certain talent in here, like Cora Jade being one of them, that like, she had two knee surgeries. Like I
Yeah.
get it. She's being stigmatized as like she got the injure bug, right? But she's the workhorse, bro.
Yes, she.
And she flamed up Dave Meltzer because Meltzer had reported that some people were being lazy, and Gigi Dolan had also responded. So I'm gonna read what Gigi said, and I'm gonna read what well, Elena Black said. So Gigi writes, when I was traveling, going to work for either of the two companies I was working for, I trained very hard, 3 or 4 days a week, bumping my ass off and doing cardio drills with one of the best and toughest coaches I've ever worked with, and worked out every single day. Then she talks about more with the live events. And then Elena Black under that says, this plus I forget to having to go to my own gym outside of work after strength conditioning that wasn't doing anything for me other than to get my body body shamed by my bosses, coworkers, and fans. It's crazy. Uh, Dave Meltzer had mentioned that many of the WWE releases were reportedly people who were perceived to not be as working hard or training, um, or working hard in training. The problem I have though is that you know you have all these creative processes that are going on, right? We just fired. Well, I don't say we. I'm not invested in WWE yet, so TKO. Be looking for my money to get invested in these stocks, and diversify my portfolio. Um, I'm looking at the aspect of people that are trying to work and work hard, right? But it's my problem is that the guys like Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, um, who else am I thinking of real quick? Gallows, Gallus, Duke Hudson, another one that I would think of. These are dudes who are constantly putting in the effort and work. Blair Davenport, another name, right? I just feel like we're getting rid of certain type of talent, and it needs to kind of be talked about, right? Um, that certain talent, Blair Davenport, I bring up Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler. Uh, it just looks weird that you're cutting certain type of people out. And if you guys know what the corresponding thread to those three are, you'll also understand where I'm going with this point. Um, it just looks weird. It looks weird that you're cutting certain wrestlers out. And I know you're going to be like, well, there's still this person, there's still that person. And it's like, yeah, but it looks very odd when you're dropping wrestlers that all have a common thread. So, you know, I don't know what the idea is, but Gigi Dolan should have gone. Her and Tatum Paxley had something special going on. Shotzi also being in that mix. She also got released to her contract wasn't renewed, but
Yeah.
we know what that meant. Um, but those three women, they had a great dynamic going on, and you didn't have something like that from Fatal Attraction, right? Also another person that we'll talk, Mandy Rose getting released. But you had this great dynamic between those three. I think that was a great group that you had, and you just cut them. For what? To make room for? Are you making room for the people coming up from LFG and for Evolve? Is that what we're doing? What's the move? I don't get it. I don't understand. And if you are, you have Evolve already. You already have a stipend for these wrestlers that are coming in and working. And if you're gonna move them up, you got to cut these people. Then the people who are coming up, Oba Femi is gonna be the person that replaces Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Okay, but I hate seeing a turn and burn. That's what I'm just trying to get at.
What blows my mind about some of these releases, like you were talking about, like Gigi Dolan, for example, is we got somebody who is talented, good, obviously promoted. You had her on, your working relationship with TNA and stuff like that. But somebody and this is no offense to anybody on that roster, but somebody like Nikita Lyons is still there. Somebody like Corey Graves is still there. That's personal. Don't worry about that. Uh, I just it's like you were saying, you're getting rid of talent that all have something in common, but it seems like you're keeping talent that you're not really using. Like how Nikita Lyons has survived this round of cuts is impressive to me.
Yeah, 100%. There's something that they must really enjoy about her backstage that she is dynamic. Because they're well, she works hard. Great, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but yeah, she's definitely not the person that I would keep backstage.
No,
You know, and there's a few other guys back there. And I understand NXT is developmental. They're still developing their talent and stuff like that. But there's people in NXT that you're not using.
nope.
They're not. You know. Yeah, and I think guys that are up on the main roster too. If you're trying to justify the price of keeping these people, but you're gonna bury somebody, and I say the word bury in the true aspect, not someone who takes a loss and then you're like, oh, they're being buried because they're losing. No, Karrion Cross is still actively being buried.
Yeah.
Like fans are cheering for this man, and they keep pushing it. They keep ignoring him because they're trying to find a reason. And I feel like this is what it is. And if you guys see this, he gets cut. That's why they're actively trying to ignore the movement that the fans are trying to set about trying to bring on Karrion Cross. Like I would be like that would be the thing for me where like Karrion Cross has been losing, and then like AOP gets cut, Paul Ellering gets cut, you know, everything that this man is trying to do to get things over, like he will be the one that I will be most pissed off about when I find out that they release him. I'm gonna be like, yeah, well, no wonder why, because you caused this man to lose numerous times and then actively ignore what happens behind the scenes, actively push other talent over him. Then you ask him to do these things, he does them, he does the good soldier thing, and then you're pissed because why? Because he went to FSW to Future Stars of Wrestling in Las Vegas to help promote a cause for his friend that was paralyzed for a little bit of time before he could actually start walking again. Like, what are we
This,
doing?
this
Like,
is their way of saying, hey, we can't release you, but we can give
yeah.
it to you.
Yeah, Hunter, you know all about this because maybe you went through the whole thing too when they did the curtain call. Like
Hmm.
that's my problem though, man. And maybe that's part of the plan is to help. Like they're gonna give this man and they're gonna feed this man as much bullshit as they can till they finally decide like, hey man, like no, all right, time to get you pushing.
Right.
Like I'm not here for it. And if they cut Carrion because of they cut Carrion, this will be the reason why.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
because they're gonna be like, yeah, well, we know the fans like you, but we're not really utilizing you on TV, so we're just gonna ignore them. We're gonna push you out of the company.
Or they'll use the same thing that they did with this group of releases and high salaries.
Yeah, he's got a high salary, and we can't really justify it because we're not using him as much.
Right. Get fucked.
Yeah,
I don't see it. I guess it is what it is.
unfortunately.
I think that's where I stand at it. It sucks, but it is what it is.
That's the problem, though, is that when we look, okay, so let's look at this 28 superstars, right? In 2025 got released. Akam, right? So Akam got released. Blair Davenport, Braun Strowman, Carmella wasn't really being utilized. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Cedric Alexander, again, a person that
Okay.
unjustly got cut. You sent him back to NXT, and he was doing things on NXT. You could have brought him back up to WWE and had him do things, and maybe he let his contract run out. I don't know. I don't know behind the scenes with that. Corey J, Dakota Kai, Duke Hudson, Eddie Thorpe, another name that kind of was weird because that man was competing for championships on the main on NXT. Electra Lopez, Gigi Dolan, Giovanni Vinci, Isla Dawn, Jakar Jackson, Javier Bernal, Joe Coffey, Carl Anderson, which I think he asked for his release. Um, Katana Chance, Caden Carter, Lou Gallows, another one I think that asked for his release.
Yeah.
Mark Coffey, Aura Mensah, which was another one that was really kind of threw me off. Paul Ellering, Razor, Riley Osborne, Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, Wolfgang, and also on that list too, Shotzi Blackheart. So, like, those are all the names that were being released. So, 29 superstars and 2025 that got released so far. And the majority of them, I can't, like, you couldn't find a place for them at all. Like, at all? Some of
Bullshit.
those. Some of those. I think Braun's cut had been coming for a while though. Like I said, like they put
Yeah.
him over. Like he put over that Bronson Reed street fight that they had and the brawl, and
Yeah,
then Jacob Fatu. And I think at that point they were kind of like, all right, we got to go.
The
Somebody on
writing was on the wall for me with Braun when they had Jacob just continually with that corner hip attack to him over and
yeah
over and over. That's when I was like, okay, yeah, he's not going to be around much longer.
yeah. Oh, what's your thoughts, Damien?
all right. So look, at the end of the day, again, like I said, it sucks. But I'm definitely taking the business approach on it, and it just is what it is. I mean, these people, yeah, they lost their jobs, but they're gonna be fine.
Yeah, it was funny because I was talking about this at a show in West Virginia, and another wrestler was like, "Oh, yeah, you could have content made at somebody else's expenses." Like, I don't think you understand how much I hate watching wrestlers get released.
Right?
Period. I was like, especially when it's wrestlers like a Dakota Kai who get injured, come back, get injured, come back, and then they get injured not off of something they did, right? And then come back and they're doing great. And then you cut them, right? Like Samoa Joe is a perfect example of someone who got cut because
Yeah.
he got injured. He got injured why? Because of what Karrion Kross said, being a good soldier. And that was my problem with it, right? That man took a power bomb through a table for a Mattel toy commercial, and then got cut after that because they said that he was injury prone. Stupid. And now look what he's doing on look what he's doing on AEW right now. Man is fucking lightning in a bottle.
Right?
This bothers me. Get that off my chest. All right, well that's the end of the show, y'all.
Oh,
That,
who won?
oh yeah, damn. Yeah, the rest of the week. Hold on, let me look real quick.
Now I need to know what that random blurt of what I'm assuming you called a laugh was.
What?
Oh my god. Never mind, Damien.
Okay.
Let's see.
Is it because I wasn't paying attention to you?
Nope, I ain't saying anything.
All right, here we go. So, with the votes that are going on right now for Damien's domestic, as we're reading this off, as of 20 minutes ago, uh, we really should start doing this segment at the beginning of the show.
We probably should.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
was thinking that too.
so that we give more time to our people to vote. All right. So let's go. Let's go in last place. Uh, the wrestler formerly known as Zack Ryder. In second to last place, or third place for those who don't know, Tony Khan. In second place with 33% of the votes, the creative team at WWE. Also the ones that got fired, and that may be why. And first place with 67% of the votes, Hogan and Bischoff.
Well, then there you go, folks. Your dumbass of the week is Hogan and Bishop.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I don't got those cool little spiels that Chaz be saying about y'all can catch a virus if you have a PC and blah 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 achievements and trophies and whatever. But what I will tell you to do is go check out Now Enter Ring this week. You guys will get a new interview this week, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Also check out all of our other shows. Check out the Villains Lounge. We may be doing a watch along for Backlash. We haven't really fully
Damn
confirmed that yet.
Thoughts on that?
Oh shit! When is that happening?
Saturday.
Let me look at my calendar.
Okay. Well,
What time is it supposed to start?
it's in St. Louis, so I'm assuming it's probably
7.
7. Yeah, 6 p.m., 7 p.m.
Okay, so yeah, I should be able to do it. I mean, I gotta
Yeah.
work, but that should be.
Well, if not, we'll be here to
Yeah.
facilitate. So, but yeah, so for the rest of you guys, go check out all of our stuff on our social medias at 3CountPod or on X at 3CountPod_. Guys, go check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. We definitely appreciate all of the subscribes, all of the comments, all of the likes, all of the shares, because we know that you guys like our show. And make sure you guys check us out on iHeartRadio. That dumb app with a stupid jingle. And then leave those 5-star frog splash reviews off of the Eiffel Tower on Apple Podcasts. Leave those comments. Also, Spotify, do the same thing. Like, subscribe, do all the comment things, follow us, do all the stuff. Buy our merch on foryourwear.com or on prowrestlingtees.com. Also, this Tuesday, I think, is the official launch for us on foryourwear.com. I think we have a soft launch on foryourwear.com. Like, we were supposed to have that a while ago, but
Now I feel dumb for promoting For Your Wear. Like,
no, it was supposed to be up a while ago. Like, I ain't gonna front with y'all. Like, it was supposed to be up a long time ago. I've been doing this for a while. We've had some errors. There's been some errors on the sites, but I literally just got a text message as we're like talking about it that hey, Tuesday will be the official. But For Your Wear, you can buy my merch. You can buy Pure Ignorance's merch
there you
there.
go.
So you can buy all of our merch there. Also, tell your mom about us, your dad about us, your aunties, your uncles, brothers, your sisters. your cousins, your best friends, and your enemies because we love haters too. Do all that stuff, or really, you're kind of waiting for this episode to end, waiting for that outro, and then choosing another episode to listen to. Kawaii! What's up? It is your friendly neighborhood Red Dog, and thank you for checking out this episode of the 3 Count Podcast. Whether that was Chaz friends, Red Dog friends, Damien friends, the Film Lounge, now into the ring, now entering 201, or now returning to the ring, all those good episodes. You should really be liking, commenting, and even sharing this with your friends, family, whoever it may be. But what you all should be doing is checking us out on all of our social media platforms at 3 Count Pod, whether that's on IG, Twitch, you can check us out on Threads, whatever it may be. And if you go check us out on X, it is 3count_pod. Check us out on YouTube, as well as Facebook, on Rumble, on Apple Music, on Spotify, all those fun things. Tell your mom about us, your dad about us, your aunties, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, and your best friends and your enemies, because we love haters too. Do all that stuff, and then, last but not least, buy our merch on foryourwear.com or prowrestlingtees.com. Kawaii!